Okay, so if you've been following the world of AI, you know the race is always on. But what's happening right now feels, well, it feels different. This isn't just about another update or some new feature drop. We're talking about the biggest players making these massive, game-changing moves all at once, shuffling their teams, their strategies, and their money. Today, we're going to break down this great AI reshuffle to figure out who's doing what and why it's such a huge deal for everyone.
So here's the game plan. First, we're going to get the lay of the land. Then we're going to follow the money with Anthropic's incredible surge, check out the new strategy taking shape over at OpenAI, and then dive headfirst into the kind of messy scramble for talent. And at the end, we'll tie it all together and figure out what it really takes to win this thing.
All right, so what we're witnessing here, this is not just another Tuesday in the tech world. No, it feels like a fundamental realignment. Think of it like a high-stakes chess game, where every single major player just decided to make their biggest, most defining move, all at the same time.
And that is the key thing to get. We are not talking about small, incremental product updates here. These are deep, fundamental shifts in strategy, in money, and in people that are basically resetting the entire board for who's going to dominate AI for years to come.
Okay, let's kick things off with Anthropic. Their big play? It's a classic one. It is all about the money. They have just locked down a massive war chest to pour jet fuel on their growth.
I mean, just look at that number. Anthropic's new valuation has hit a staggering $18.3 billion. Look, this is not just another funding round. This is a massive signal that the big, serious institutional money now sees them as a top-tier contender.
And just to put that into perspective, you have to look at the speed of this. Back in February, their valuation was around $6 billion. And now, it's tripled. That's not just growth. That is an absolute explosion.
So what in the world is fueling that massive valuation? Is it just hype? No, it's pure performance. Get this. The company's annual recurring revenue, the ARR, has quintupled. It's gone 5x this year alone, rocketing from $1 billion to $5 billion. And this isn't just small-time stuff. That growth is being driven by huge business customers. The number of accounts spending over $100,000 a year, that's up 7-fold.
You don't even have to take my word for it. Anthropic's own CFO, Krishna Rao, he put it plainly, highlighting that exponential growth in demand. So the message here is crystal clear. The money is pouring in because the product is selling like crazy. And now they have this massive war chest to just keep the pressure on everyone else.
Okay, so while Anthropic is making the big money move, OpenAI is over here making a structure move. Right now, they're not focused on raising new cash. Instead, they're reorganizing from the inside out. They're trying to pivot from being a research lab into a truly mature product company.
And what's the biggest signal of this shift? Well, it's this, a $1.1 billion acquisition of the analytics platform Statsig. Now think about that. This isn't about building some flashy new model. This is about perfecting the products they already have, using data, using testing to make their applications better and, well, stickier for all of us.
And this acquisition didn't happen in a vacuum. It kicked off a huge leadership shuffle. You can see they've literally built a whole new hierarchy just for applications, bringing in top-tier talent to run it. But you know what the most telling move is? It's that the former product chief is moving over to the research side. OpenAI is drawing a really sharp line in the sand. On one side, you have pure, deep research. And on the other, you have the serious business of building and selling products.
Which of course brings us to the third critical piece of this puzzle, the people. Because you can have all the money and the perfect corporate structure in the world, but it means absolutely nothing if you don't have the right talent. And right now, that fight to get and to keep that talent is getting super intense and, frankly, pretty messy.
And right now, we're seeing two really fascinating and totally different stories of this talent turbulence playing out. Over at Apple, it's this kind of quiet exodus. But at Meta, oh, it's a much more public drama, full of internal rifts and power struggles inside their new AI superlab.
So let's look at Apple first. There's this quiet but really significant brain drain happening. Key researchers are just being picked off by rivals left and right. Their foundation models team alone has lost something like 10 members. And you hear whispers that morale is taking a major hit, partly because of the, let's say, lukewarm response to Apple Intelligence, and also these rumors that they might end up outsourcing their core AI work to a competitor. Ouch.
Okay, now let's flip over to Meta, where things are, if you can believe it, even more dramatic. They spent an absolute fortune poaching top talent to build this new super intelligence lab, but the reports coming out are,
Well, they're confusing, to say the least. We're hearing stories of these high-profile hires leaving within weeks, some even before they officially started.
So what is really going on in there? This quote from an investor close to the company kind of hints at the problem. There's a lot of big men on campus. It begs the question, right? When you assemble a super team of huge names and even bigger egos, are you just destined to get friction and power struggles?
Now, for its part, Meta is definitely trying to calm the storm. Their official line is basically to downplay all the drama, saying, hey, we're just focused on the work. But here's the thing. When you recruit that aggressively and that publicly, this kind of media attention is just unavoidable, especially when there's even a whiff of chaos in the air.
So, let's recap. We've seen the money move from Anthropic. We've seen the structure move from OpenAI. And we've seen these messy people moves at Apple and Meta. Each one is a totally different strategy for trying to win this AI race. But what's the ultimate proving ground? What really matters in the end?
And that really is the multi-billion-dollar question that ties all of this together. With all this cash flying around, all this restructuring, all these all-star hires, how do you actually tell who's winning? Who is really in the lead?
And this, right here, this is the answer. It's probably the most powerful takeaway from everything that's happening. Because at the end of the day, all the headlines about the funding rounds, the internal drama, the celebrity hires, all of that is just going to fade away. The only thing that will silence all that noise and truly determine who wins is shipping products that people actually use and love. The real proving ground, it isn't the boardroom and it isn't the press. It's what they actually build. And that is what we're all going to be watching.